Wow. That was definitely a no, Daddy. You're not touching my ball. Oh. Daddy's gotta get that one. That was close. Close doesn't cut it. Yeah, okay, Daddy threw that behind you on purpose. I thought you would chase it. No. You don't think so? Aw, who's a good boy? Yes, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, Frosty, eh? Underneath your paws? Frosty? Yeah. Okay, that one bounced way in front of you. What's wrong? Oh, I see. You need some motivation? Give me the backhand. One more. Okay. Now, let's get the ball. Where's that ball? Give me. Give me. Where's your ball? I'm gonna get it. It's gonna be my ball. See? It's gonna be my ball. Delicately switching hands. Moving the bag around again. Oh, that one was so close. Oh, yeah. Good boy. Oh, beautiful. Yes, you are. You're beautiful. Your daddy love you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Snuggle next to Papa. You want to do the introduction now? Good morning, humans! It is I, Kaiba the Pug. I hope you guys enjoyed that long playtime before we introduce you to Super Day Sunday. Sunday? Sunday. I do the Super Deck Sunday so much better than Daddy. Daddy, what about me? You mean a bigger? Tell them you're awesome. You are awesome, Kaiba. Yes, I am going to be doing a Super Deck Sunday episode shortly from the car. We were just waiting for it to get lighter out. Last week's episode was kind of hard to see in the dark, so... Well, you got it? There you go. Okay. Save the rest for in the car, okay? But this was just supposed to be an outside introduction we thought would be cute for you guys because it has gotten frosty out for one of the first times this year. Anyways, see you with the decks shortly. My goodness, you ate it so fast I barely got it on film. One tiny piece left. Welcome back to the car, everybody. Kaiba's joining me, unfortunately, in the car. Because I have to film this here, because my dad is going to be home for the rest of the day. Oh, you coming over to join me for the video? Is that what you think you're going to do? Are you going to show them all the cards? Yeah? It's kind of noisy, so I'm going to close the windows. You're okay. You're okay. Yes, I make this video and then I go grab groceries and we go home. Okay? We'll be good. Don't worry. So, as Kaiba did the intro already, it is Super Deck Sunday. But before I get to the deck, I want to do a couple quick things. First off, I wanted to go over quickly. What's up, buddy? You really want to come over here, don't you? Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah? You're gonna sit on my lap for the video? Yeah? Okay. Kaiba is going to sit on my lap for the video. You guys get to have a shot of Kaiba's back. Alright, so as I was saying, I wanted to do a quick reminder that Thursday at midday, so noon, Eastern Standard Time, my time, is the last chance to submit your Commander Core Creator Challenge decks. I will do one more reminder on Tuesday for the Dollarama Draws a Destiny video, but aside from that, I probably will not be doing any more reminders, so please remember to try and get your deck done and get it submitted. If all goes well, I will be submitting mine by the end of the day to my Discord server, so you should be able to check it out either today or at the latest tomorrow. I have just a small stack of creatures to go through still, and then I just need to sort through all the cards that might work and decide which ones will work and build a deck from there. So, we are building Gix Yawgmoth Praetor, one more time to remind you. It is a 3/3 for 1 and 2 black, and it does some pretty cool stuff, so definitely worth building either way as a mono black deck if you wanted to. But I think that I'm going to have something fun for this deck at least. I'm not sure what everybody else is going to do. We might all end up on the same wavelength for this one, just because this one does seem to have something it very specifically wants us to do, but I could be wrong. What do you see? Oh, the steel towers are upsetting you? That's going to make this video fun. And the other thing I wanted to mention, and of course, for refresher, just in case you've never seen any of my other videos, in order to participate in the contest, you have to go back to the original video, which I forgot to link in the last time I did this reminder, so I will try and go grab that link today to put in the description for this video. Apologies. Very tired. And brain is not working super well, and I have to go back to work tomorrow, so I think it's just kind of a mix of all that stuff. Anyways, go like that video, then join the Discord server, build your deck and submit it to the server, and if you are the one who builds the coolest or most interesting deck / unique, something like that, whatever really kind of makes the deck stand out compared to the others, that person will win a Throne of Eldraine pack and a Aether Drift pack if they are interested in taking them. So far, Snoop and I are the only ones who have participated in this contest, and Snoop has generously continued to donate his packs that he's won to the channel. So, the other thing I wanted to just say is, if you stick with me to the end of this video, for those of you who are Magic players, you will get to see me open this pack of Innistrad Remastered. For those of you who don't know, I've been chasing the Agar Markov forever. I do not want to buy a single, I want to pull one because I think it'll be more fun. So hopefully today will be the day. It will never be the commander for my commander deck though, ironically. I still think that my choice of oh damn, what's her name? Queen Marchesa is the best deck. But that is sadly where I'm going to have to take a break from Magic for you guys, because I wanted to do something special today. First off, we are starting to branch back into doing some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Eventually, I am going to probably buy some Dollarama packs for Yu-Gi-Oh as well if I can find them again. I haven't seen them for a bit, so I'm not sure if they're actually making them anymore. But so that might get added in for some Dollarama Draws of Destiny just for extra stuff. But in the meantime, in between time, for now, I'm planning to bounce back and forth on Super Deck Sunday between Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh. And my buddy, Mr. Tibbz, shout out to you, Mr. Tibbz, got an awesome milestone yesterday. He hit the 175 subscriber. And we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh recently, and he mentioned that he really likes the Arcana cards. So for you guys today, I have my Arcana Force slash, I'm not exactly sure what else is in here, deck. I didn't get a chance to look at it before we left today because we were running a little late. But I have a lot of really neat cards in here. I know there's some heralds and some other stuff, so I'm pretty excited to show you guys this one. And yeah. On the plus side, it shouldn't take as long, hopefully, to get through. But on the negative side, like I say, well, no, there's no negative side. Positive side, we should be able to get out here quicker today, hopefully. We got Herald Mirage of Lights, which will be a link monster that I will never use now, probably. 2 monsters with the same type and attribute except tokens. This thing has 600 attack, and it does a bunch of other stuff to deal with fairies. It's pretty cool artwork, but like I say, I'm not going to probably run that anymore because I'm going back to playing Genesys is my goal. So I'm going to eventually convert all these decks into Genesys decks. Oh no, somebody's walking by with a puppy. This video might get disrupted in a minute. We got Herald Arc of the Light, and I have a couple copies of this. It's a pretty decent monster for sure, tuner and non-tuner. Any monster sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard is banished instead. When a spell, trap card, or a monster effect is activated, you contribute this guy to negate that thing. And if you do, destroy the card. Pretty cool. And you can, when this thing gets sent to the graveyard, you can add a ritual or monster or spell to from your deck to your hand. We also have Herald of Pure Light. You can detach 1 material from it and target 1 monster in your graveyard, add to your hand, shuffle 1 card from your hand into your deck. Pretty decent. So like I say, I have a couple copies of each of those. I have an Ancient Fairy Dragon in here because why not? She is a gorgeous card. I've always loved Ancient Fairy Dragon. I have a number 16 Shockmaster. Invoked Magellanic. I'm actually not sure how I pull that one off, to be honest. I think I must have a weird extra card in here that lets me fusion summon stuff. I can replace the Alistair or the Invoker, because I don't think I have that card. Forgiving Maiden and Mary the Fallen Ones for St. Joan. She's a classic from the original show. Definitely awesome. And Thousand Eyes Restrict, because of course. So this deck is clearly going to have some ritual monsters in it too, which is awesome. But let's see what we got in here. It's been a while since I've looked at this deck. Yes, you're kind of making it difficult for Daddy to do this, but that's okay. We have Arcane Force 3, the Empress. These ones are all based on tarot cards, which is why we were discussing these the other day, because what game were you guys playing that had... Is it Little Nightmares that all the boss monsters are tarot cards? No, it must be something else. I can't remember what it was that Tibbz was playing. We were discussing it. Arcane Force 1, the Magician. What I love about these cards is they all have a heads or tails ability, so depending on what you flip when they come into play, you get something either positive or potentially negative. For example, this one, tails, each time your opponent normal summons or sets a monster, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Pretty bad if you get tails on this one. But heads, each time your opponent normal summons or sets a monster, you can special summon an Arcana Force monster from your hand. That's pretty badass. So like I say, it's just kind of a dependency on what you flip. I have an Option Hunter in here. Activate this card when a monster on your side of the field is destroyed as a result of battle. Send it to your graveyard. Increase your life points by the original attack of the destroyed monster. This is pretty cool. Polymerization, so I can get those few fusion monsters out into play. Lucky Chance, once per turn, if a monster effect is activated that tosses a coin once, call heads or tails. If your call matches the coin toss for that monster effect, draw one card immediately after the effect resolves. Pretty good in Arcana Force deck. I have Kelbic in here because it's one of my absolute favorite fairy monsters of all time. I love the fact that it's got a really good stat line of 1500 and 1800, and then the fact that anything that attacks it gets sent back to the owner's hand is just classic. Since you can only summon, since in Yu-Gi-Oh you can only normal summon one monster per turn, unlike in Magic where you can play as many as you can based on resources, that is really useful for sure. Spirit of the Harp, beautiful little card there. Very solid on the defense, main reason why she's in there. Hopefully these are all on screen. I'm really having a hard time holding this up here. Light Law Medium, 400 and 300 at the start of your opponent's battle phase. You can target any number of attack position monsters your opponent controls. While this card is in your monster zone, those monsters must attack this turn. If able, once per turn, when an attack is declared involving this card, an opponent's attack position monster, you can negate an attack, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack of the opponent's monster. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Fusion Recovery to get back Polymerization and a Fusion Material monster. Second Coin Toss, because definitely going to be useful in this deck, and I might have more than one copy of that in here, actually. As long as this remains face up on the field, you can negate the effects of a card requiring a coin toss once per turn and redo the coin toss. So all these Arcana Force monsters, if you screw up the coin toss the first time, you got a second do-over. I love this tuner. Okay, baby, I'm sorry, but you're the one who came over here and you're trying to balance on my knee. I can't put my legs together right now. This isn't like the old vehicle where it was much bigger. I'm sorry. Effect Veiler. I love this tuner because during your opponent's main phase, you can send it from your hand to your graveyard, and then target an effect monster an opponent controls, negate its effects. Pretty good. Prediction Princess Arrow Sylph. Flip it to add a ritual monster from your deck to your or graveyard to your hand. Definitely a solid one when we're wanting to play Herald of Perfection, for example. I love Herald of Perfection. That is an insanely cool card. Can only be ritual summoned with the ritual spell card Dawn of the Herald, which I do have. And when your opponent activates a spell card, trap card, or effect monster, you can send one fairy type from your hand to the graveyard to negate and destroy that card. And I don't think that's a once per turn thing, is it? No. That is insane. That is not a once per turn. Dora of Fate, you can only activate this card during your opponent's turn. Select one face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field. When you successfully normal summon a monster that is one level lower than it, on your next turn, inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to the level of the selected monster times 500. Pretty insane if you can pull it off. Does lots of damage. We got Herald of Purple Light. When your opponent activates a trap card, you can send this one and a fairy monster from your hand to the graveyard to negate that effect and destroy it. Arcana Force 7, which I just spoiled by accident, the Chariot. 1717 is solid stats. Heads, you get to destroy an opponent's monster by battle. You can special summon that monster to your side of the field. Crazy cool effect. Tails, your opponent's getting this card though, which would really suck if you need this monster on your side of the field at that time. Guardian Angel Joan, because she is beautiful and her ability is insane. When you destroy a monster by battle and send it to the graveyard, you get life points equal to that monster's original attack in the graveyard. So with a stat line of 2828 or 2800 2000, she's pretty dominant on the field. At least in the earlier going per se, before we got some of the crazier stuff that we have now that does like 10,000. Shinato, King of the Higher Plane. I can't remember if I put the arc in here or not, or I'm using something else to summon this, but 3,300 and 3,000 is insane stat line too. And when a defense position monster your opponent's side of the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard by this, as a result of battle, inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster. So basically there's nowhere for them to hide. They can't defend themselves. They can't block on attack, because in Yu-Gi-Oh, of course, If you get your attack position monster destroyed, that's how you lose your life points. In defense position, normally your life points are safe, but not with Shinato. I love Healing Wave Generator because this thing gives you just a bunch of life points back per turn if you have, for example, Shinato on the field. Shinato being a 8-star monster, that would give me 800 life points per turn. Pretty good. Barrier Statue of the Heavens is in here largely to stop people from special summoning anything that isn't a light monster. Granted, that does lock me out of Thousand Eyes Restrict. And the Invoked Magellanic. But, I mean, honestly, if this is on the field and it's locking out my opponents from playing, then it's way better for me to do it that way. Light Force Sword, banish one card from your opponent's hand face down until their forced standby phase. Just a great way to disrupt somebody's play. I have Chakra. You can ritual summon this with Resurrection of Chakra, but I do it with a different card in this deck. 2450 and 2000. It's mostly in here for the stat line. Zolga is awesome because it comes into play and increases life points by 2000. When it's offered as a tribute for a tribute summon. So pretty solid there. We got another copy of the Empress. We got another copy of Kelbeck. Oop. Light Law Medium. Did we do that one already too? I think so. I know there was a Light Law monster. I just can't remember which one it was. Oh, Kaiba. I know. I thought we did a Light Law, didn't we? Maybe we didn't. I'm going crazy. Anyways. Light Law Medium is a pretty neat effect. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, you can target any number of attack position monsters they control while this thing is in your monster zone. Those monsters... Yeah, we did this already. We have 2 copies of that. Okay, we're good. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy, I promise. We got a mystical beast of Circuit. And I do have the Temple of the Kings for this card. Not to worry in here. 2500, 2000, and banish any monster destroyed by battle with this thing, and it gains 500 attack when you do. So pretty good. And it's a permanent gain, I think, if I remember correctly. Curse Reflection Doll. When a monster effect is activated that would inflict damage to you, your opponent takes that damage instead. And if you take damage while this is in your graveyard, you can set it, but you can only use that effect once per turn. There's my Shinato's Arc. Beautiful, beautiful card. Arcana Force 14, Temperance. She is gorgeous. 24/24. During damage calculation, either player's turn, you can discard this card. You take no battle damage that battle. And when this is summoned, you toss the coin. Heads, half all battle damage you take. Tails, half all battle damage your opponent takes. Pretty dangerous, but again, if you can get the second coin toss, not so bad. Ray of Hope to get some light monsters back from the graveyard to my deck. Wing Karibo, because he's cute. And he does have a good ability too, of course, but mostly because he's cute. There's a hollow version of the Temperance. Arcana Call. Select an Arcana Force monster you control. Remove from play one Arcana Force monster from either player's graveyard. Till the end phase, the selected monster's effect becomes the removed monster's effect for the same coin toss. Result. Neat. I'd say very neat. There's the Crystal Dean to get me the other card. If you flip this one, you get a ritual monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So the one gets you the spell, the other one gets your monster, so you don't have to worry. Second Zolga, because I'm going to be sacrificing them decently. There's my Temple of the Kings. Activate a trap card. Turn it was set. You can send one Mystical Beast Circuit monster in your monster zone, and this card to the graveyard to special summon one monster from your hand, deck, or one fusion monster from your extra deck. I do love this card a lot. This is a great way to get, there's my first grade of the day, to get Thousand Eyes Restrict onto the board immediately. Thousand Eyes Restrict is insane for the record, and I don't think I went over its ability, but just so we're clear, as long as it remains face up on the field, other monsters cannot change their battle positions or attack. I can select one monster on my opponent's side of the field and equip it to this card, and the attack and defense of this card become the same amount as that monster that's equipped. And if this card would be destroyed by battle, the equipped monster is destroyed instead. So it has some solid staying power. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. We got ourselves a cost down. Graceful Tear is decent. Add one card from your hand to your, or add one card from your hand, to your opponent's hand, and then gain 2,000 life points. Shift, classic. Good old Shift. Card of Fate, because I mean, if we're going to do Arcane Force, we definitely have to have one of these. Each player chooses one card from their deck, then each player combines it with 4 additional random cards chosen from their deck by their opponent. Randomly shuffle, select one of the 5 cards to reveal and add to their hand, shuffle the rest back into their decks. I think this is a really fun one to play in a fortune-telling deck, so, or a Fortune of Chance deck. Skill Drain, activate. By paying 1,000 life points, negate the effect of all face-up monsters when they are face-up on the field. So this just helps me deal with my arcane forces if they are going not my way. There's another Chariot. There is a copy of the Lovers. 1616. Toss the coin, heads. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of an arcane force monster. Tails, you cannot tribute summon arcane force monsters, which would lock me out of the deck. Wabaku, because it is a classic and a beautiful card, and I love that one. Fairy Wind. Destroy all their face-up spell and trap cards, and then each player is going to take damage equal to the number of those cards times 300. Cup of Ace, because if they were going to do fortune telling, we definitely should include this one, I would say. Heads to draw 2 cards, tails to give your opponent 2 cards. There's the Herald of Ultimateness. Oracle of the Herald must be ritual summoned when your opponent would special summon a monster or... must be ritual summoned, period. When your opponent would special summon a monster or activate a spell trap card or a monster effect, send a fairy from your hand to the graveyard to negate the special summon or activation, and if you do, destroy that card. 2,000, 3,000 stat line. Pretty damn beefy. We got the Fool. 0. A 0/0. Negate the effects of spell and trap and affect monster effects that target this card and destroy them, or negate the effects of your opponent's spells and traps and affect monsters' effects that target this card and destroy them. Huh. In this case, you actually want the tails, I guess, for Fool. Fountain in the Sky to boost all my light monsters, because all these Arcana Force monsters are light, so if one of them is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, I can remove it from play and gain life points, with the exception of the Fool, of course. We got ourselves a copy of the Moon, 2800, 2800. I think that's the beefiest one, if I remember correctly. Oh, we're getting close, baby. I know, it's really difficult for you to bounce there. I don't know why you wanted to bounce there, though. You just wanted to be a part of the video. You want everybody to know you're here. You're part of Daddy's videos. Yeah. You're a good puppy. Yes, you're a good puppy. Heads, during your standby phase, you can special summon 1 Moon token, which has 0 attack and defense. I'm not really sure why I want to do that. Tails, during each of your end phase, select one monster you control, give control of it to your opponent. Definitely don't want to get tails on this guy, but the heads, I mean, you get a whole bunch of extra bodies to block with, I suppose, if nothing else. Terramorphing, so I can get my field spells out. Wing Weaver is actually one of my of classic Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I think this is one of my favorites. It has crazy cool stat line, but I've also just loved the flavor text on this one. A 6-winged fairy who prays for peace and hope. It's always been one of my favorite cards because of that. So, really good card. Herald of Orange Light. Send this and one fairy type monster from your hand to the graveyard to negate the effect of an effect monster and destroy it. I think I have the green one in here too, if I remember correctly. Another Arcana Call. There's my Relinquished. Definitely a solid card in this deck. Neither gets the attack and defense of one opponent's monster on the field face down. Treat the selected monster's equip spell. Use the equip to banish. Once per turn, you equip this with one monster. When your opponent's monster attacks this monster with an attack higher than Relinquished, the equipped monster is destroyed instead. And this thing deals damage equal... No, sorry. And life point... instead of Relinquished. Any life point damage you receive from the attacking monster when Relinquished is equipped is also inflicted to your opponent. Yeah. So basically, anything that you attack me with, I'm going to just block with your own stuff and destroy. Light of Effigy, 2 tributes for a light summon. Forgiving Maiden. We got ourselves a Magician. I think I've already pulled one of those already in here, but when the spell is activated... No, when a spell card is activated, this card's attack becomes double. Ooh. Or when a spell is activated, your opponent gains 500 life points. Eee. There is the Oracle of the Herald. Your opponents cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card. There's Arcane Force EX, the Light Ruler. 4,000, 4,000. I forgot that one existed. When this one enters, you have to special summon this one by sending 3 monsters you control to the graveyard instead of 2. And then heads, you get... When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can target one monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Ooh, that's a good one. And during either player's turn, when a spell or trap card or a monster effect that targets this card is activated, this card loses exactly 1,000 attack. You negate the activation and destroy. Either is a pretty good one. Heads or tails, to be honest. Monster Reincarnation. Gets you something back from your graveyard. A 3rd copy of Chariot, because why not? Shining Abyss. Beautiful fairy that I've always enjoyed. 1618, decent stat line. Soul Purity and Light. Cannot be normal summon or set. Can only be special summoned by removing 2 light monsters from your graveyard. All monsters your opponents control lose 300 attack during their battle phase. Pretty good. 2,000 and 1,800. So he can stand up to himself too. Solemn Warning. Classic counter trap. Contract with the Abyss. That's how I'm getting out my Dark Ritual monsters in this deck. And there is the Light Barrier. I accidentally spoiled that one for the Arcane Force deck. We do need a copy or 2 of this. During your standby phase, you toss a coin. If the result is tails, the following effects are negated until your next standby phase. Otherwise, when you summon an Arcana Force monster, choose which effect to apply without tossing the coin. If an Arcana Force monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you gain life points equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. This card is actually insane as long as you can not flip tails. Splendid Venus, 2824. All non-fairy type monsters lose 500 attack and defense points. And it negates the activation and effects of spell and trap cards. Or no, those can't be negated on my side of the field, which is great. Second grade of the day. So this is how I'm getting the invoked Magelenica out by replacing Alistair the Invoker with this guy. And I mean, I'm just basically getting a super big beefy boy. I'm not really getting it for any other reason per se, but it's just, this is also very helpful for getting me out the Thousand Eyes Restrict, because I don't think I have the other piece I need in this deck for it. I'm sure I have one piece, but I obviously have one piece I have Relinquished, but I don't think I have the other piece in here. There is the Herald of Green Light I was talking about. This one negates spells by discarding a fairy along with it. Here is Arcane Force 4, the Emperor, 1414. Heads, all Arcana Force monsters gain 500 attack. Tails, they all lose 500 attack. We got a couple copies of him. We got an extra Forgiving Maiden in here to help us get Joan out. And because it's a really good monster where you contribute it to return one monster that was destroyed by battle to the field. So helps you save some of your Arcana Force monsters and such. Arcana Reading, toss a coin, apply this effect. If Light Barrier is in your field zone, though, you can choose the effect instead. Heads, add a card from your deck to your hand, then toss a coin. Oh, that has a coin tossing effect, except for this card. And tails, your opponent adds one card from their deck to their hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard immediately after this effect resolves. And then normal summon one Arcana Force monster. Pretty great card. I have a Hollow Change of Heart. Beautiful one there. An extra second coin toss. I'm just not sure if you guys got to see the Arcana reading or not. Because we definitely need some extra second coin toss action on the field. Honest has always been one of my favorite fairy type monsters since it came out. It allows you to do some insane stuff. During your main phase, you can return this card from your field to your hand. And then during either player's damage step, when a light monster you control battles, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. And the monster that you have gains attack equal to the attack of the opponent's monster it's battling. So no matter what, it will win the battle. Cestus of Dalga can go on any of these fairy type monsters, and it just gives them 500 extra attack. Plus, when they inflict battle damage, I get to increase my life points by an equal amount. So we also have Hex Sealed of Light Fusion in here. That one helps me get out the St. Joan. But I mean, honestly, either of them can be used to help get out a fusion material monster in theory, as long as the second part is correct. So both of those are really helpful. Dark Hole, because I figure, you know what, if we're going to do a fortune telling card deck, we probably should have something that just seems like it wipes out the universe. I have Manju of 10,000 Hands, 14 and 1,000. When this card is normal summoned or flipped, you get to add a ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. Valhalla of the Fallen, once per turn you can special summon a fairy monster from your hand, but you can only do it if there's no other fairy type, no other monsters on the field. Double Passe. I love this card, actually, to be honest. I think it's really cute artwork, and I've always enjoyed this effect. When an opponent's monster declares an attack on a face-up monster you control, make your opponent's monster's attack a direct attack instead. And then, and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the attack target you control. And then also, that monster you control can attack your opponent directly during your next turn. So it's just a really cool card that lets you do basically double damage for taking a direct hit. And lets you save your monster. You can discard this guy to get the Valhalla card out into your hand, which is very useful in this deck. Arcana Force EX again, the Dark Ruler. You've already seen one copy of him, but I included two because crazy good effects, why not? The Huge Revolution is over. When a spell or trap card or effect monster's effect is activated, that destroys two or more cards on the field, negate that activation and banish the card. Helps me deal with anything that's trying to board wipe me when I don't want my board wiped. Reversal of Fate. Select an Arcana Force monster you control. That monster's effect is now treated as the opposite of the coin toss result. This is fantastic for if my second coin toss still fails. We got ourselves a Lovers again. Very nice one there. A Metaverse. Take one field spell from your deck and either activate it or add it to your hand. I think I only had the one copy of... no, I do have two Light Barriers. Spoiler. But basically, this is just another way to get Light Barrier out of the deck as fast as possible, because if Light Barrier isn't on the field, this deck is very much a... well, it's a coin toss deck. It's a 50-50 chance. So, Arcane Force XX1, 21, The World. I got a really, really good artwork version of this one, too. I am pretty proud of this card. 31-31. When it's summoned, toss a coin. Heads, during your end phase, you can send 2 monsters you control to the graveyard to skip your opponent's next turn. Tails, during your opponent's draw phase, add the top card of their graveyard to their hand. I mean, that's an interesting one, for sure. I don't really like the idea of giving them back something that they want to just play over and over again. That's a loop that could be really dangerous for me. But at the same time, the idea of making people skip their turn is phenomenal. There is the Dawn of the Herald. I actually like this one because it has an extra ability too. When Herald of Perfection is ritual summoned by this card's effect, you can remove from play this card in your graveyard to select one of the monsters tributed for that ritual summon and return it to the graveyard, or return it from your graveyard to your hand, which is pretty neat. So, we got another copy of the Fool. Demise Supreme King of Armageddon, 3000 stat line. When this thing is ritual summoned, its name is Demise King of Armageddon while on the field, or while in the hand or on the field, sorry. When this card is ritual summoned, when this ritual summon card is on the field, your ritual monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. If all ritual monsters used to ritual summon this card were ritual monsters, you do not pay life points to activate its effects. Once per turn, you can pay 2,000 life points, destroy as many cards on the field as possible, and if you do, as many other cards on the field as possible. And if you do, inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each destroyed card they controlled. I think this is probably the really clinch hit card in this deck. If I can pull this off by sacrificing one of my heralds, for example, and then get the herald recycled back, phenomenal. But this is definitely like the game changer in this deck. And we find it finished with a light barrier, which just makes perfect sense. Alright, so we seem to have gone into battery saver mode, which means I am running out of time. That is the Arcana Force deck that I built. I really enjoy this deck. You'll notice that I have a whole bunch of different card sleeves. Quickly, I'll explain that as I'm shuffling. Basically, when I was a kid, I didn't know what card sleeves were. I didn't find out about card sleeves until well into, let's say, the 15th or 16th arc of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, I think we were doing XYZ monsters when I first learned of sleeves. So that's why you'll see a lot of my older Yu-Gi-Oh cards are pretty damaged. But still love them. I have a very Raphael mentality when it comes to my cards for Yu-Gi-Oh. Those of you who've seen the show will know what I mean. But anyways, the point of my story here being that when I did find out what sleeves were, my parents still weren't... I still didn't really go to card shops a lot or anything like that per se. So when I could, I would pick up card sleeves from Toys R Us, Walmart, places like that. So basically my card sleeves are just random amalgamations of whatever I could find. Up until, let's say, the last 5 or 6 years when I finally started going to card shops. Prior to that, I always picked up everything at a Toys R Us or a Walmart or something like that. Anyways, I'm rambling. I want to get this pack of Innistrad done and get you guys out of here. I gotta run into the grocery store super quick and then get this puggy home. Yes. You want to blow on it for good luck? No. Alright, let's see if Daddy can pull the Egger Markov that Daddy wants to pull so badly. I thought this would be a good pack to open since it's Halloween. No pack trick. Okay, good. Falconroth Torturer. Sacrifice a creature. This creature gains flying until end of turn. If the sacrificed creature was a human, you can put a +1/+1 counter on this. Yeah. Spore Crawler is a good one. When this thing dies, you draw a card. I always like pulling a Spore Crawler. Alchemist Greeting, 4 in a red. Deals 4 damage to target creature. Madness, 1 in a red. Yeah, okay, that's not terrible. It's like mid-range. Blazing Torch. Equipped creature can't be blocked by vampires or zombies. Equipped creature has tap, sacrifice. This thing deals 2 damage to any target. Yeah. No, well, I mean, it's kind of unblockable depending on whether you're playing against the right creatures, so I'll put it in the mid. Towergeist, 3 in a blue for a 2/2 flying. When this thing enters, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put 1 into your hand, the other into your graveyard. Mid. Evolving Wilds is a good land. I've always liked my Evolving Wilds, for sure. Delver of Secrets. This looks neat. 1 blue for a 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. If it's an instant or a sorcery, you can transform this card. And this transforms into Insectile Aberration. 3/2 with flying. I mean, the first part's kind of neat. The second part's kind of weird. Not an amazing card by any means. I'm going to call it mid. Sever the Bloodline. 3 and a black. Sorcery. Exile target creature and all other creatures with the same name as that card. Great if you're playing Modern or Standard. Not so good in Commander. Honeymoon Hearse. 2 and a red for a 5/5. That's pretty decent. Trample. Tap 2 untap creatures you control. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Alright. It's not based on power, it's based on just numbers. But still, you can swing a 5/5 and then just make it an artifact on your turn so it's less easy to target. Aberrant Researcher, 3 and a blue for a 3/2 with flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. If that card is an instant or sorcery, transform this card and it becomes Perfected Form, 5/4 with flying. I'm seeing a pattern here. Humans that are insects that become humans that become really weird insects that like to fly. Bloodhall Priest, 2, a red, and a black for 4/4. Whenever a creature enters or attacks, if you have no cards in hand, this creature deals 2 damage to any target. It's alright. Ooh, Somber Walled Sage, 2 and a green. Tap, add 3 mana of any one color, but spend it only to cast creatures. Still a great card, for sure. I'll take that. That's the best one in the pack so far. Maelstrom Pulse. 1 black-green. Destroy target non-land permanent and all other permanents with the same name. This is fantastic for wiping out a whole bunch of tokens, but beyond that, it's not a super ideal card in Commander. That is our Hollow. And an island. And a useless token. Alright, no Egger Markov for us today. And honestly, that pack was kind of meh. But, I appreciate you guys hanging in there for me. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. As I say, next week we will be back to a Magic deck. So for those of you who are Magic fans and were missing out on it, don't worry. Next week you will get something cool. I haven't decided which one yet, but there is a good chance it might be a mono green deck update. Anyways, I'm going to take this down, show you the Kaiba. Kaiba! Aww. You're a good boy. Yes. You want to say bye-bye? Not really. Okay. Much love to you all from Kaiba over here. And I to you. Take care. Love you all. Have a great Sunday. Oh, and please check out the last splash pad video. We put it out yesterday, and Kaiba's very proud of it. Okay? Bye!